Hey there Retro fans, welcome back to RGF, Retro Game Force. And Streets of Rage is one of my favorite video game franchises of all time, and I always followed this fan-based project, the Streets of Rage Remake, back in 2011. And because there was an update on the Streets of Rage Remake last November, today I will take a chance and do the first impressions with you guys of the new update on Streets of Rage Remake. Stay tuned! So now you ask, what are the changes of this new version 5.2? We have, as you can see here on the screen, full 16:9 widescreen support on the main game. We have 15 new tracks, remixes and originals. New scenes were added and some graphic updates. We have new scenarios, as I will show you later on. We have a new intro with updated graphics, new endings, and new menus. We have the AI that was hugely improved, so they say. Achievements, because you know this is offer a modern experience for the players. And you can choose between remixed and retro original soundtrack, which is awesome because in some cases I will say I prefer the original soundtrack compared to the remixed one. So let's go through the first levels and see how good this game really is. So on the selection screen you can select different levels on the city map, and these levels are pointing more to the trilogy of Streets of Rage. So we have levels from Streets of Rage 1, levels from Streets of Rage 2 and levels from Streets of Rage 3. And you can select around, plus some new levels that you can select in the beginning of the game, and I will show these new levels later on. And what I have to say is that in terms of characters, in the beginning of the game you only can select the main heroes from the original trilogy, but if you remember the version 5.1, I think you can expect that you can unlock more secret characters that you can play later on in the game, or maybe you need to finish the game or even go through in some specific levels, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that you have a lot of secret characters that you can unlock if you play the game. So as you can see, I selected the first level to be the Streets of Rage 1, level 1 actually, and I select Adam as a character, so I'm now trying to explore a bit the character. It's really nice to come back to the original Streets of Rage 1 with these bigger sprites and with more effects and really good scenarios, even if sometimes I would say that I prefer the original sprites, the background sprites, but maybe nostalgia, you know. So yeah, Adam is a pretty cool character. I think they did a good job to add the moves of Adam, but we had it already on previous versions, so this is not new. The game plays great, even if I saw some strange slowdowns, so I don't know, my computer is pretty new, so I don't know, maybe I have some configuration issues, I don't know. But it plays great. It plays really like the original Streets of Rage with a bit more moves, and you could fit a lot of enemies in the same time on screen. So as you can see here, the second road that you can choose is the Streets of Rage 2 road, which puts you immediately on the first level of the Streets of Rage 2 game, which is a very good thing, because yeah, this is really iconic. And I have to mention that the default control is mapped to the keyboard. So even if you have attached to the PC when you launch the game a controller, the default keys are from the keyboard. So you can use your controller. I'm using the PS4 controller for these first impressions, and what you guys need to do is remap the controllers manually. So the game doesn't recognize by default the controller as the default input. So yeah, nothing really special, you just need to waste a bit of time on mapping or remapping the keys. And now, representing Streets of Rage 3, we have the Brawler on the Disco, which is pretty cool, one of the coolest levels on Streets of Rage 3, and you can get it almost in the beginning of the game. So yeah, very well represented. I need to add that I didn't saw any new moves of the characters compared to the previous version of Streets of Rage Remake. What I saw was refinement on the enemies' AI, indeed. So they really try to go in the back to not give you any chance to counterattack. But still, in the first levels, I believe the enemies are not so difficult to overcome. And now let's enjoy two new scenarios made for this version of Streets of Rage Remake that added some new tweaks into the gameplay and even some graphical, let's say, enhancements compared to previous versions of the game. Let's enjoy. So what are my first impressions of this new version of Streets of Rage Remake? I would say, if you're a fan of Streets of Rage and you never played Streets of Rage Remake, I think this is a must. And if you like also 2D brawlers from the 90s, this is also mandatory, because this is a pretty good one, because it's based on Streets of Rage, one of the best ones out there from the 90s. If you played already fully the version 5.1, bad news, you cannot use your old save states on this new version. And I don't know if you want to go through again, because there are not so many things new that could justify you to play it again, except if you are a huge fan. If you are a huge fan, for sure it's highly recommended that you try it again. So guys, I leave you the link on the description below, where you can download this game. You only can play it on Windows PC right now. And yeah, just download it and give it a go. It's free. And as usual, if you like the video, please don't forget the classic like, comment and subscribe to the channel. That helps a lot into try to be visible in the Google algorithm, so I can present you guys more retro gaming content. So until the next video, take care and bye bye.